Hello everyone, let's continue doing few more problems on midpoint theorem and its converse. I have taken questions from grade 9 textbook Concise Mathematics by Selena. In my previous video I have done some 4-5 questions and today let's do 6th question of exercise 12a. So the question says the diagonals of a quadrilateral intersect at right angles. Okay, so I have taken a quadrilateral ABCD and its diagonals intersect at 90 degree. Now you have to prove that the figure obtained by joining the midpoints. Okay, so the figure obtained by joining the midpoints of the adjacent sides of the quadrilateral is a rectangle. So let's take the midpoints of the adjacent sides of this quadrilateral. So when you join these midpoints, the quadrilateral which you will get, we have to prove that this quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle. Okay, so I hope the question is clear. So let's write down what is given. So here ABCD is a quadrilateral, right, and whose diagonals are intersecting at right angle. So we can say that AC and BD are intersecting at 90 degrees. What else is given? PQRS are the midpoints of PQR and S are midpoints of AB, AD, DC and CB. Okay, so this much is given, and what do we have to prove? We have to prove that quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle. Okay, so now you have to think that what are the properties of rectangle. So how do you prove that any quadrilateral is a rectangle? For that, what you have to do? So it's very simple. To prove that any quadrilateral is a rectangle, the first thing which you have to show is here that PQRS is a parallelogram. We know that a rectangle is a special type of parallelogram, right? And in that parallelogram, if you show that any one corner angle is 90 degree, if you show this much, that is enough. Because in a parallelogram, if all the 4 angles are 90 degree, then it becomes a rectangle. So you don't have to show all 4 angles are 90 degree, because see this is a parallelogram, right? This is a parallelogram. Now here this angle is not 90, correct? Now if you try to push this parallelogram, so that this angle becomes 90, right? So don't you think even these angles, the remaining angles will also become 90, right? So if you show any one angle is 90 degree, that is enough to say that the parallelogram becomes a rectangle. Okay, so right now in this question we will show these two things, and then we can say that PQRS is a rectangle. So it's very simple. So let's write down the proof. Now the question is, how do you show that PQRS is a parallelogram, right? Now here in the question the midpoints are given, right? So whenever midpoints are given, so you can use midpoint theorem to show that the given quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So you can take any triangle over here, let's say take A, B, D. Okay, in this triangle you observe that P is the midpoint of AB and Q is the midpoint of AD, right? So from, see, 2 midpoints are given, correct? So from the midpoint theorem, what can you conclude? That PQ will be parallel to BD and PQ will be equal to half of BD, right? Similarly, you can take triangle BCD, right? In this triangle also S and R are the midpoints of BC and CD. So SR will be parallel to BD and equal to half of BD, right? Now here we have shown that these two, PQ and SR, they both are parallel to same line which is BD. It means these two will be parallel to each other, correct? Also we have shown that these two, PQ and SR, they both are equal to half of BD, right? It means what? That PQ will be equal to SR. So here we have shown that PQ and SR are equal and parallel to each other. So we know that in a quadrilateral, if you show one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel, then it becomes a parallelogram. Okay. So let's write down this much and then we'll show that in that parallelogram we have to prove that any one corner angle is 90 degrees. Okay. So first write this much. So and here see, I have taken triangle ABD, right? And BCD. I have taken these two triangles. If you want, you can take triangle ABC also, right? Because in this triangle also P and S are the midpoints, correct? So when you take triangle ABC and triangle ADC, when you take these two triangles, you will be showing that P and QR are equal and parallel to each other. So it's up to you. You can show any one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. Okay. So write down in triangle ABD, P and Q are midpoints of AB and AD respectively, right? So this implies PQ will be parallel to BD and PQ will be equal to half of BD, right? From midpoint theorem. Now, similarly, you can take the other triangle CBD. So in triangle CBD, S and R are the midpoints of BC and CD respectively. This implies SR will be parallel to BD and SR will be equal to half of BD, right? This is also from midpoint theorem. Now let's take this as 1. If you take this as 1 and this as 2. Okay, so from 1 and 2, what can you conclude? From 1 and 2, you can conclude that PQ is parallel to SR and PQ is equal to SR, right? Therefore, quadrilateral PQRS is a parallelogram, right? Now we have shown that this is a parallelogram. So in this parallelogram, you have to show any one corner angle is 90 degree. You can show angle P is 90 or Q is 90 or R or S. Anything you can take. So let's show that angle Q is 90. Okay, let's aim that. Now how do you show that angle Q is 90? So whenever you don't get any direction like how to think, just go back to given. What is given? From there you will get the hint and you will get you will understand how to think, how to prove. So here it says that AC and BD are intersecting at 90 degree. So this we have not used anywhere till now, right? It means that we have to use this concept to get the answer, right? So here this is 90 degrees, right? And I have to show that this is also 90, correct? Now I am getting a quadrilateral here, right? Now if I show that this quadrilateral is a parallelogram, so in parallelogram the opposite angles are equal, right? So if this is 90, even this will be 90, right? So my purpose will be done. Okay, so now you have to think, how do you show that this quadrilateral is a parallelogram, right? So you can name it, let's say X, Y, Z. Alright, now in my previous video I have already shown you that how to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. There are three ways, right? So as per the situation, as per the requirement, we can use any. So now here if you see, we have already shown that PQ is parallel to BD, right? Here we have shown that PQ is parallel to BD, correct? Now, so can I say that XQ is parallel to YZ? Yes, I can say that, right? Because these are the parts of those sides, correct? So here I got one thing, that XQ is parallel to YZ. Now I don't have enough information to show that XQ is equal to YZ. So what I will do is I will try to show that QZ is parallel to XY. So that we can easily show. How? See, in triangle DAC, in this triangle, Q is the midpoint of AD and R is the midpoint of CD, right? So QR will be parallel to AC, correct? So can I say that QZ will be parallel to XY, right? So here QZ will be parallel to XY. So here we have shown that two pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So here it becomes a parallelogram. And in a parallelogram, the opposite angles are equal. So even this angle will be 90 degrees. Alright. So let's write down whatever we have discussed. Now let's take this as 3 because we have to use this result further. Now you can write down, since PQ is parallel to BD, this implies XQ will be parallel to YZ, right? Let's say this is 4. Now in triangle DAC, in this triangle, Q and R are midpoints of AD and CD, right? This implies that QR will be parallel to AC from midpoint theorem, right? Let's take this as, not this as. Now since QR is parallel to AC, can I say that QZ is also parallel to XY, right? Because QZ is a part of QR, right? And XY is a part of AC. So even they will be parallel to each other, right? So let's name it 5. Now from 4 and 5. From 4 and 5. You can conclude that XQZY is a parallelogram. XQYZ is a parallelogram, right? Now, angle XYZ is 90 degrees, right? Why it is 90? It is given in the question. Therefore, even angle XQZ will be 90 degrees. Why? Because opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. Alright, you can take this as 6. Now from 3 and 6, what can you conclude? See, what 3 says that PQRS is a parallelogram, right? So PQRS is a parallelogram. And in this parallelogram, here what 6 says, that angle XQZ, it means this angle. This angle is 90 degree, right? In this parallelogram, one angle is 90 degree. So this shows that this quadrilateral, or you can say this parallelogram, is a rectangle. So from 3 and 6, we can say that PQRS is a rectangle. So I hope it is clear to everyone. We can quickly recap. Here what was the question? Here ABCD is a quadrilateral and PQRS are the midpoints, right? And we have to show that PQRS is a rectangle. So first we showed that PQRS is a parallelogram by using midpoint theorem, right? That you all know. It's very easy because we have done the same thing in previous few questions. And after showing PQRS is a parallelogram, we showed that this corner angle, any one corner angle is 90 degree. So for that what we did, we took this quadrilateral. You can take any, you can take even this or this or this. You can take any quadrilateral, right? So here I showed Q is 90 degrees, so I took this quadrilateral. If you want to show angle P is 90 degree, take this quadrilateral. So it's up to you, right? So here what we did, here we showed that the opposite sides are parallel to each other, and we showed that this quadrilateral is also a parallelogram, and in a parallelogram the opposite angles are equal. Since this is 90 degree, so even this will be 90 degree. So that's how we proved it, right? So let's move to the next question. Now question number 7 is, L and M are midpoints of sides AB and DC respectively of a parallelogram ABCD. So ABCD is a parallelogram where L and M are the midpoints of sides AB. It means L is the midpoint of AB. So let's take L the midpoint of AB and M is the midpoint of DC. So let's take M the midpoint of DC. Now prove that DL. Prove that DL. So this is your DL. DL and BM. So BM, you have to connect BM. Yes. So you have to prove that DL and BM trisect diagonal AC. Okay, so you have to connect the diagonal AC. Right? Now you have to show that these two, DL and MB, these two lines trisect the diagonal. Now what do you mean by trisect? Trisect means that this diagonal AC is divided into 3 equal parts. Okay, so you have to show that. Let's take this as X and Y. So you have to show AX is equal to XY is equal to YC. This is what you have to show. Okay, so first let's write down what is given and what you have to prove. So given is ABCD is a parallelogram, right? And M and L are the midpoints. So M and L are midpoints of DC and AB respectively. Okay, so this much is given. Now what do you have to prove? What do you have to prove? You have to prove that AX is equal to XY is equal to YC. Alright. Now how do we think about this question? So basically see, you have to show that AX is equal to XY is equal to YZ, right? So let's say I want to show first that AX is equal to XY, right? Now here AX is equal to XY, it means I should show that X is the midpoint of AY, right? So let's take triangle AYB. Okay, let's take this triangle and see. Let's see what all information I have. So in this triangle, I only know that L is the midpoint of AB, right? I have no other information. So I can't use midpoint theorem or the converse, right? So here, since it is a parallelogram, so I can try to prove that LX is parallel to BY. Because once I show that LX is parallel to BY, I can use converse of midpoint theorem. And I can say that since L is the midpoint of AB and LX is parallel to BY, so even X is the midpoint of AY. So AX will be equal to XY, right? So now you have to think how to show that LX is parallel to BY, right? So can I show that LD is parallel to BM? Can I show that? So for that you have to take the quadrilateral DMBL. Take this quadrilateral and think that can you show that this quadrilateral is a parallelogram? Yes, you can show that. See, here ABCD is a parallelogram, right? Okay, so in a parallelogram the opposite sides are equal and parallel. So can I say that DM is parallel to LB? Why? Because see, DC is parallel to AB, correct? And DM is a part of DC and LB is a part of AB. So I can say that DM is parallel to LB, right? Now also DC is equal to AB, correct? Because in a parallelogram the opposite sides are equal, right? So DC is equal to AB. Now M is the midpoint of DC and L is the midpoint of AB. So can I say that half of DC, which is DM, will be equal to half of AB, which is LB. So here I showed that DM and LB, they are equal to each other and they are parallel also, right? So in quadrilateral DLBM, in this quadrilateral, one pair of opposite sides are equal as well as parallel, right? So this becomes a parallelogram, right? So now since this is a parallelogram, so I can say that LX is parallel to BY, right? Isn't it? In this triangle, L is the midpoint of AB and LX is parallel to BY. So from the converse of midpoint theorem, even X will be the midpoint of AY, right? So we showed that AX is equal to XY. Alright, now we have to show that XY is equal to YZ. So XY is equal to YZ. It means I should show that Y is the midpoint of CX. So let's take triangle CXD, correct? Take this triangle. Now in this triangle, M is the midpoint of DC. This is already given, right? And MY is parallel to DX. Just now we showed that DLBM is a parallelogram. So opposite sides will be parallel to each other. So MY will be parallel to DX, right? So in triangle CDX, in this triangle, M is the midpoint of CD and MY is parallel to DX. This implies that MY will bisect CX, right? It means XY will be equal to YC. So here, hence we showed that AC is trisected by DL and MD. Okay, so let's write down whatever we have discussed here. So the proof is, see here, actually since we are using this quadrilateral, we prove that this is a parallelogram and this is helping us to prove the rest of the thing, right? So let's do one thing. Let's start proving the question from here by showing that how DLBM is a parallelogram. So let's show that. Okay. So you can write down here ABCD is a parallelogram, right? In a parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal and parallel, right? So therefore DC will be parallel to AB and DC will be equal to AB, correct? Now since DC is parallel to AB, I can say that DM is parallel to LB, right? So this implies DM is parallel to LB, and now here can I take half on both the sides? Now half of DC will be DM, correct? And half of AB half of AB will be how much? LM? Why? Sorry, LB. Why? Because M and L are midpoints of M and L are midpoints of DC and AB respectively. Okay. Now, since DM is parallel to LB and DM is also equal to LB, therefore DMBL is a parallelogram. Now you can take triangle ABY. So in triangle ABY, what do you observe? L is the midpoint of AB and LX is parallel to BY. This implies LX bisects AY, right? Therefore, AX will be equal to XY. Let's name it 1. Now similarly, take the other triangle. Now you have shown AX is equal to XY. Now you have to show XY is equal to YC, right? So let's take this triangle, correct? So in triangle CXD, in this triangle, what do you observe? M is the midpoint of DC and MY is parallel to DX. This implies MY bisects XC. Therefore, XY is equal to YC. You can name it 2. Now these both are from the converse of midpoint theorem. Alright. Now from 1 and 2, what can you conclude? From 1 and 2, we can say that AX is equal to XY. This is your 1, right? And second is what? That XY is equal to YC. So this is equal to YC. Therefore, AC is trisected by DL and MB. So this was a very simple question, right? I hope it is clear to everyone. So let's see the next question. Now question number 8 is, ABCD is a quadrilateral in which AD is equal to BC. So here ABCD is a quadrilateral where AD is equal to BC. And E, F, G and H are the midpoints of AB, BD, CD and AC, right? So here G is the midpoint of DC, H is the midpoint of AC, E is the midpoint of AB and F is the midpoint of BD. Alright. Now you have to show that EFGH is a rhombus. So EFGH, this is a rhombus. This you have to show. Alright, I hope the question is clear. First write down the question, first write down the given and what you have to prove, and then we'll think about how to prove it. So given is that ABCD is a quadrilateral, so let's not write down that. What else is given? Yeah, in this quadrilateral AD is equal to BC and E, F, G and H are midpoints of AB, BD, CD and AC. Alright. Okay. Now what you have to prove? You have to prove that EFGH is a rhombus. So here what will you show to prove that any quadrilateral is a rhombus? So we know that rhombus is a special type of parallelogram where all sides are equal to each other, right? So here in this quadrilateral EFGH, if you show that this is a parallelogram, and second thing, if you show that any one pair of adjacent sides are equal, then this becomes a rhombus, right? So what is the first thing which you have to show? You have to show it is a EFGH is a parallelogram. That's the first thing which you have to show. Okay. Second thing, see, in a parallelogram, we know that opposite sides are equal to each other as well as they are parallel, right? So here in this parallelogram, if I make all sides equal to each other, right? So this will become a rhombus. But you don't have to show that, all sides are equal to each other. If you show any one pair of adjacent sides are equal, let's say this and this. If you show that these two are equal, then automatically, all the sides will be equal to each other. Why? Because this is already equal to this, right? And this is equal to this. So even this will become equal to this, correct? And this is equal to this. So all four sides will be equal to each other, correct? So here you don't have to show everything, just show that one pair of adjacent sides are equal. Okay, we have done a similar question before also. So we have to show these two things, then it will be a rhombus. So first, how do you show that EFGH is a parallelogram? This also we have done before, right? If you remember. Now this is very simple. That in a quadrilateral, if you remember. So in a quadrilateral, if you show that one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel, it becomes a parallelogram, right? So here we have to show EFGH is a parallelogram. So show any one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. So you can choose any pair. You can choose GF and EH because they are opposite sides. Okay, so you can show that these two are equal and parallel, or you can show HG and EF are equal and parallel. So anything you can choose. Okay, so right now I will choose GF and HG. I will show that these two are equal and parallel. Okay. Now see, in all these questions, where is the confusion? Like generally children, they get confused which triangle you will take, right? So it is not at all confusing. You should know how to think about that. So here I'll tell you, see, I have to show that GF and HE are equal and parallel, right? Now see, GF is connecting G and F, right? G is the midpoint of DC and F is the midpoint of DB, right? So it means that I will take triangle BDC. In this triangle, G and F are the midpoints of side DB and DC. Therefore, from the midpoint theorem, GF will be parallel to BC and GF will be equal to half of BC. Similarly, I have to take HE, right? Now H is the midpoint of AC and E is the midpoint of AB, right? So I will take triangle BAC, right? In this triangle, E is the midpoint of AB and H is the midpoint of AC. So HE is parallel to BC and HE is equal to half of BC, right? So what we have showed, this HE and GF, these two are parallel and equal to half of the same line, which is BC. So this implies what? This implies that HE and GF are equal and parallel to each other. So we have shown that EFGH is a parallelogram. Alright, now the second part we'll do it afterwards. First, let's write down this much. So the proof is, in triangle DBC, In triangle DBC, what do you observe? G and F are midpoints of DC and DB. This implies GF is parallel to CB and GF is equal to half of CB, right? This is from midpoint theorem. Now, in the other triangle, triangle ACB, H and E are midpoints of AC and AB. This implies HE is parallel to CB and HE is equal to half of CB, right? So from 1 and 2, let's say this is your 1 and this is 2. So from 1 and 2, we can conclude that HE is parallel to GF and HE is equal to GF. Therefore, quadrilateral HEFG is a parallelogram. Okay, clear? Now you have to show one pair of adjacent sides are equal, right? So in this quadrilateral, or you can say in this parallelogram, now take any one pair of adjacent sides, right? So you can take GF or FE or FE or HE, HE or HG or HG or GF. Any adjacent sides you can take. So let's take HE and EF. Okay, let's show that HE is equal to EF. Right? Now, what do you know about HE? You know that HE is equal to half of CB. Just now we have shown here, right? HE is equal to half of CB. And what do you know about EF? Now, E is the midpoint of AB and F is the midpoint of BD, right? So, again from midpoint theorem, you can say that EF is parallel to DA and EF is parallel to AD and EF is equal to half of AD, right? Now, AD is equal to BC, correct? AD is equal to BC. So, can I say that EF is equal to BT? EF is equal to half of BC. Can I say that? Right. See, EF was half of AD, right? Correct. But AD is equal to BC, no? So I can say that EF is equal to half of BC and also EH is equal to half of BC. So again here EF and EH, they both are equal to half of BC, which means that they are equal to each other, right? So let's write down this. So you can write down, first let's take EF, right? So EF, it means you have to take which triangle? Triangle ABD, okay? So in triangle ABD, E and F are midpoints of AB and BD. This implies EF will be parallel to, okay, no need to write parallel because we are not going to use that concept. Let's just write down EF will be equal to half of DA, because we have to show that, you know, EF is equal to EH, right? So we are going to use the equal concept. We are not going to use parallel concept right now. So let's just write down whatever is needed. Okay, so EF is equal to half of AD, or you can write D, anything. Now, can I write this as half of CB? Why? Because AD is equal to CB. This is given, correct? So EF is equal to half of CB. EF is equal to half of CB. Also we know that EH is equal to half of CB. You can see here EH or HE is equal to half of CB, right? So also from 2, HE is equal to half of CB, right? Now you can see that EF is equal to half of CB and HE is equal to half of CB. So let's say this is 3 and 4. So from 3 and 4, what can you conclude? So from 3 and 4, you can conclude that EF is equal to HE. EF is equal to HE. Okay. So EF is equal to HE. So we have shown that in parallelogram GHEF, in this parallelogram, one pair of adjacent sides are equal. So this becomes a rhombus, right? So you can write down that in parallelogram HEFG, one pair of adjacent sides are equal. Therefore, HEFG is a rhombus. So I hope it is clear to everyone, right? Now in question number 9, a parallelogram ABCD has P the midpoint of DC. So here ABCD is a parallelogram and P is the midpoint of DC, and Q is a point on AC. So Q is just a point on AC. Okay, Q is not the midpoint, right? Okay. Such that CQ is 1/4 of AC. So CQ is 1/4 of AC. And PQ produced meets BC at R. So PQ is produced to meet BC at R. And you have to show that, you have to prove R is the midpoint of BC. So you have to show R is the midpoint of BC, and then you have to show that PR is half of DB. So PR is half of DB. Alright. So let's join DB, because we have to use this. Alright. Now let's prove the first part, which is R is the midpoint of BC. R is the midpoint of BC. This you have to show, right? Now let's see once again what is I have already written here. So ABCD is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. P is the midpoint of DC, and CQ is 1/4 of AC. Alright, only this much is given. Now how do you show that R is the midpoint of BC? So here let's start thinking from whatever is given. So we know that P is the midpoint of BC. Now what about PQ? Is PQ parallel to, let's say this is O, DO. Is PQ parallel to DO? No, it's not given, right? So I can't use converse of midpoint theorem right now, right? So how you will show? How you will show that Q is the midpoint of CO? Because once you show Q is the midpoint of CO, that will help to show that R is the midpoint of BC, right? So here I have this information. I can use that information, and also since ABCD is a parallelogram, and we know that in a parallelogram the diagonals bisect each other, right? So what do you mean by that diagonals bisect in a parallelogram? So let's say there is a parallelogram and these are the diagonals So they bisect at this point. It means that here this half, this will be equal to this and this will be equal to this. Alright. So similarly here AO will be equal to OC, right? So we can say that O is the midpoint of AC. So now I know that CQ is equal to 1/4 of AC, right? Now in place of AC, can I write down 2 multiply OC? Right, AC, in place of AC, can I write down 2 OC? You can just write down 2 OC also. Yeah, 2 OC because O is the midpoint of AC, right? Now here 2 and 4 gets cancelled, so you get 1/2 OC. It means that CQ is half of OC. CQ is half of OC. So can I say that Q is the midpoint of CO, right? Okay. So now in triangle CDO, in this triangle, P is the midpoint of CD and Q is the midpoint of CO. Just now we have shown here. So from midpoint theorem, we can say that PQ is parallel to DO, right? Now if PQ is parallel to DO, can I say that PR is parallel to DB, right? So now in triangle COB, in this triangle, Q is the midpoint of CO and QR is parallel to OB. So from the converse of midpoint theorem, even R will be the midpoint of CB, right? So it's very simple. So let's write down whatever we have discussed. So first let's write down what is the construction. So we joined DB, right? Okay. Now from where you will start writing? So basically here first we have to show that here OC is half of AC, right? Correct? So let's take parallelogram ABCD. In parallelogram ABCD, AO will be equal to OC, right? Why? Because diagonals in a parallelogram bisect each other. Now we know that it's given CQ is equal to 1/4 of AC. So can I write that AC is equal to twice of OC? Can I write down that AC is double of OC because O is the midpoint, no? Right? So now here I can cancel 2 and 4 and I'll get half OC. It means CQ is half OC. CQ is equal to half of OC. So this implies Q is the midpoint of OC. Now in triangle COD, P and Q are midpoints of CD and CO respectively. This implies PQ will be parallel to DO, right? So this implies PQ will be parallel to DO. So can I say that PR is also parallel to DB, right? If PQ is parallel to DO, I can say that PR is parallel to DB, right? Now in triangle COB, what do you observe? Q is the midpoint of CO, and QR is parallel to OB, right? QR is parallel to OB. This implies QR bisects CB from converse of midpoint theorem. Therefore, R is the midpoint of BC. R is the midpoint of BC. So first part is done. Now you have to show PR is equal to half of dB. PR is equal to half of dB. So this is very simple. We have been doing such questions from long time, right? P is the midpoint of DC and R is the midpoint of CB. So from midpoint theorem, PR will be parallel to dB and PR will be equal to half of dB. So we have to show PR is equal to half of dB, right? So I think that you can do it yourself. Now this is the last question which I will be taking from this exercise, as we have done enough problems on midpoint and converse of midpoint theorem. So I guess you all have understood how to apply these theorems in different questions, right? But in case if you can't do it, do let me know in the comment section. I will make a separate video on rest of the questions. Alright. Now let's do this question. So here the question says, in triangle ABC, E is the midpoint of the median AD. So in this triangle ABC, E is the midpoint of the median AD. So first you have to draw the median. So let's take D. D is the midpoint of BC, right? Because we all know median bisects the opposite side, right? So here AD is the median. So BD is equal to DC. And E is the midpoint of AD, right? So let's take E, the midpoint of AD. So even these two are equal to each other. And BE produced meet side AC. So BE is produced. So BE is produced to meet side AC at point Q. So this is Q. Show that BE is to EQ is equal to 3:1. So BE is to EQ. This is 3:1. This is what we have to show, right? So I hope the question is clear. Let's write down what is given. So triangle ABC is given, right? And here AD is the median and E is the midpoint of AD, right? So AE is equal to ED. Yeah, that's it. Now what do we have to prove? So we have to show that BE is to EQ is equal to 3:1. Or you can say that we can write down this as BE over EQ is equal to 3/1. Alright. Now we have a construction over here because the given information is not enough to prove this. So from here, from D, from D we will draw a line parallel to BQ. Okay, let's name it P. So construction is draw DP parallel to BQ. Now we have to show that BE is to EQ is 3:1, right? So let's first use the given information, like whatever is given from there. Let's try to find some information and then we'll slowly proceed to this. So let's take triangle BCQ. Now you must be thinking why I have taken this triangle. I have taken this triangle because I know that D is the midpoint of BC and DP is parallel to BQ, right? So I will take triangle BCQ. In this triangle, D is the midpoint of BC and DP is parallel to BQ. This implies what? This implies from the converse of midpoint theorem, even DP will bisect CQ, right? So P will be the midpoint of CQ. So CP is equal to PQ. Correct? We got some information. Now also DP will be equal to half of PQ. Correct? Now let's write down this and then slowly we will do this. So in triangle CBQ, D is the midpoint of BC and DP is parallel to BQ. This implies DP bisects CQ, right? So therefore CP will be equal to PQ, right? Also you will write down that DP is equal to half of BQ, right? Let's name it 1. Now what else? Now what else we know? We know that E is the midpoint of AD, right? And EQ is parallel to DP, correct? So in triangle ADP, we can say E is the midpoint of AD, EQ is parallel to DP. So even EQ bisects AP, right? And AQ will be equal to QP, correct? Also EQ will be equal to half of DP, right? So in triangle ADP, E is the midpoint of AD and EQ is parallel to DP. EQ is parallel to DP. This implies EQ bisects AB and also EQ will be equal to half of DP. Let's take this as 2. Now if you observe in this first and second, DP is equal to half of BQ and here also you got something in DP, right? So can I write down this as DP is equal to 2EQ? I just cross multiplied, right? So let's take this one as 2, this result as 2. Now from 1 and 2, what can you conclude? From 1 and 2, can I say that half BQ is equal to 2EQ? Because DP is equal to this and DP is also equal to this, right? So I can say that 2EQ is equal to half BQ, right? Now from here you can cross multiply and you will get 4EQ is equal to BQ, right? Now we got this relation. So here just check what relation do we need. We need EQ. Yes, we have EQ here. We need BE. We don't have BE. So here this BQ is not needed. So BQ is here. BQ is here. So this is not needed. So can I break it down as BE plus EQ? Right? I can do that. So 4EQ is equal to BQ. I can write down as BE plus EQ. Now here I need BE, right? BE. So BE is nothing but BQ minus EQ, right? So here if you just solve the like terms, like here you have EQ, you have EQ. So shift EQ on the other side. So you will get how much? So 4EQ minus EQ is equal to BE, right? I shifted EQ on this side. So I will get 3EQ is equal to BE. So I got BE and EQ. BE and EQ. This is what I was looking for, right? Now this should be equal to 3 by 1. So Shift EQ on the other side, so you will get 3 by 1 is equal to BE by EQ. Or you can say that BE is to EQ is 3 is to 1. So BE is to EQ is 3 is to 1. So this is what we were supposed to prove, right? So I hope it is clear to everyone, right? So can we just quickly recap? So here the question was ABC is a triangle and E is the midpoint of AD and D is the midpoint of BC. Okay, only this much is given. And we were supposed to show that BE is to EQ is 3 is to 1. So what we did the construction from D, draw DP parallel to BQ. This was your construction, right? Now in triangle BCQ, in this triangle D is the midpoint and DP is parallel to BQ. So this implies that DP will bisect QC and DP will be equal to half of BQ. So that's what we have written here. Okay, here this is not needed, so you can erase this because this result we are not using, right? Okay, now next we took triangle ADP. In this triangle E is the midpoint of AD and EQ is parallel to DP. So this implies EQ will bisect AP, right? And EQ will be half of DP. So that's what we wrote, EQ is equal to half of DP. Now here also you have DP, here also you have DP. So we can get some relation when we equate these two, right? So here we cross multiplied and we got DP as 2EQ, right? Here we got DP as half BQ, here we got DP as 2EQ. So from 1 and 2 we can say that half BQ is equal to 2EQ. So that's what we wrote here, and then we cross multiplied and here BQ was not needed. So we split BQ into BE plus EQ, right? And then when you solve the like terms together at the end, you will get the required result. So I hope you have understood all these questions. So in case if you want me to do few more questions, please do comment below. I will make a separate video and I will cover the rest of the questions. So keep practicing, and until then, goodbye, take care.